Hi, I'm Megan. Welcome to my channel. My husband and I are leaving for our 10-year wedding anniversary trip today, literally in like 3 minutes. And I want to bring a crochet project to work on in the car while we are road tripping through New England. I have this yarn here. My mother picked this up at a Goodwill for only $2. It is a beautiful chestnut brown. It is 100% merino wool, and my plan is to just make 2 rectangles, one out of each skein of yarn, using a mesh stitch. I want something super easy, mindless, uncomplicated, that I can whip up without having to concentrate too hard on what I'm doing. I want to show you a quick little sample of how I'm crocheting these rectangles. I'm starting off by chaining an even number of stitches, and then I'm going to double crochet into the 4th loop from the hook, and then I'm going to place a double crochet into each stitch all the way back down to the end. This is going to be the bottom edge of my rectangle and the bottom hem of my shirt. Next, I'm going to go in and start my mesh stitch. Chain 3. And these first 3 chain stitches count as a double crochet, and then I'm going to add a 4th chain stitch, which counts as a chain stitch. Turn. So we have our first double crochet here. We're going to skip the next stitch and then work a double crochet into this stitch here. Then chain 1, skip a stitch, and then double crochet. Chain 1, skip a stitch, double crochet, chain 1, and repeat all the way across. Chain 4, turn, and then we are going to double crochet into the top of the previous row's double crochet. Chain 1, skip the chain space, and then double crochet into the top of the previous row's double crochet and repeat to the end. So that's the way I'm making each of my rectangles. To estimate how wide you want your rectangle to be, hold up your chain length to your body like so, and add or remove chains to your desired length. And then test again once you've done your row of straight double crochets. Okay, cue the road trip montage. Fast forward ahead like 45 seconds if you don't want to watch this. I went to the circle of stitches.
Other way. Bags backwards.
Wow. I wound up getting this pretty green yarn. It's from Knitting for Olive. Nothing like going on vacation and your souvenir is more crochet supplies. We made it back, had an excellent time, and I was able to crochet both of my rectangles, was able to work through all of the yarn. I did save a little bit of yarn from each skein, that way I can use it to sew my side seams and my shoulder seams together in a little bit. Here's what these rectangles look like. If I had more yarn, I would have made them a little longer, but I'm working with what I got. Now I'm going to put these out on my blocking mat. I'm going to mist each one of my rectangles with some water until all the fibers are damp, and then stretch them out and pin them into what I want their final shape to be and let them dry. You can see the difference in the rectangle's size after pinning one in place. Give them another good mist and let them dry at least overnight. So these dried for a full 24 hours before I took the pins out, and you can see here that as I'm taking the pins out, these rectangles are continuing to hold their shape beautifully. So these are very nicely blocked. I'll just hold one up to me so you can see where it hit my body before I blocked it and where it hits my body now that it's been blocked. It sits quite a bit lower now that it's been blocked, still a cropped length, but longer than it was. So now all I have to do is sew the seams together. So what we're gonna do is sew these two rectangles together at the shoulder seams, leaving space for my head, and the underarm seams right here, leaving space for my arms to go through. To do this, I'm using a yarn needle with some of my leftover yarn to do an invisible seam. I made a tutorial on this method and will link it in the description. I'm going to join the rectangles along one side seam to my desired point and then repeat on the other side. Then I'm going to use the same method to join my shoulder seam to my desired point and repeat on the other shoulder seam. And that's how I made this top. What do you guys think? And that's it, just 2 rectangles and 4 seams, and you have a top. You could certainly make this longer if you wanted, or shorter. You could make the arms longer or shorter. You could use a completely different stitch. You know, the sky's the limit as far as customizing this how you like. I just had those 2 skeins of yarn to use, so this is what I came up with. Very pleased with how it looks. I'll wear this quite often as a layering piece. In the winter, I'll layer this over long sleeve shirts and turtlenecks, and in the summer, I'll layer it over tank tops and t-shirts. Alright friends, if you've made it this far, thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up so I know to make more videos like it in the future. And don't forget to subscribe if you want to see what else I make. Thanks again for watching. Bye!